I truly believe that there are 3 professionals that you need to have on your speed dial at any point in time in your business. You need an insurance professional, a tax expert or CPA, and an attorney. And specifically, you need all 3 of these people to be familiar with small creative businesses. And the time to look for these people to help you is not when your business is in the middle of a crisis. You need to set up these relationships ahead of time, even if you don't use them right away, knowing that you have someone you can call when you have questions or issues in a legal, tax, or insurance situation is so very important. But the question I hear all the time is, how do I find someone I can trust? Who can I call? What questions do I ask? Well, let me have some answers to your cues there. Just like in life with all of our business, anytime we need professional help, the best place to start is with your friends and family who we know we can trust. Who do they deal with on a regular basis? Ask for referrals. Do you have an uncle or an aunt or even a spouse who work in a business? Who do they call on for these professional helps? Who would they recommend? Here's the thing, even if the person that you're going to ask deals with an attorney and that attorney is not a small business attorney, usually you can get a referral to someone that they trust if they can't help you. And they're in the network, so they can refer you to someone that they know can help you. Just like when our clients call us. If someone calls me to do boudoir, I don't do boudoir, but I can certainly recommend them to someone who does, who I would trust to take good care of them. So if I were going to be interviewing any one of these 3 professionals, I would ask the following questions. I would want to know what their experience is in working with small creative businesses. Now, they don't necessarily have to have experience specific with photographers, but small businesses have specific needs and requirements that larger corporations do not. So you want to make sure that that person you hire is a small business specialist. Also, you want to make sure that their interest is small business. That way you know that their continuing education that they seek on their own is going to help you out in your field. If you're interviewing a CPA, you might want to make sure that your CPA is familiar with the type of business that you have set up. So whether that's a sole proprietor, an LLC, if you're a corporation, if you're doing business as, make sure they have experience and extensive knowledge with your type of business setup. And if you don't know how you want to be set up, that's exactly why you hire a CPA. They can help you in setting up your business. Now, I know I said earlier that your small business help doesn't have to have specific photography industry experience, but if you can find one, that's especially helpful. So ask other photographers in your area who they use, who they have found great success with, and who has been helpful. That would be a wonderful place to start as far as finding someone, and also at the same time, knowing that they have experience with your particular niche. Ask them about their business. Do professionals particularly just specialize in small business, or do they have other things as well? I would probably not hire an attorney who is a small business attorney, but who is also doing work as a public defender. I don't even know if that's a thing, but to me those don't really mesh. I want someone who works in small business specifically, because criminal law is something totally different. And if they're spending their continuing education and their time working in criminal law, that means they're not taking time and they're not devoted to working with small businesses. And I want to make sure that they have as much knowledge as possible so that when I have a question, they have an answer. The next thing I would want to know is, who am I going to work with if I hire them? Many times people have support staff. So I might get a great CPA, but that may not be the person that I'm going to be dealing with on the daily. So I need to know who in their support staff I'm going to be dealing with and who does that work. I want to know who they are, why are they qualified to work on my case, and what can I expect of them? What can I expect as far as timelines of returning questions and phone calls and emails and everything like that? How responsive are they going to be? That's really important to me as someone whose time is valuable. Their time is valuable as well, but just because they may not get back to me till the next day on an email doesn't make that a bad thing. It just sets the expectations accordingly in our relationship. And you definitely want to know their fee schedule. I went to an attorney one time and I thought their rate was $100 an hour. And we had this big long meeting and consultation and we were talking to her, and at the end we were going over the fee schedule, and I said, okay, well, I understand that your fee is $100 an hour. And she just put up her hand and she was like, that's $450 an hour. Well, I just kind of swallowed and said, okay, great, $450 an hour, let's continue. I wasn't going to be embarrassed or leave the room or anything, but I don't want to get caught in that situation again. So you especially don't want to get caught in that situation if you're having them do work for you. And the next thing you do is you get a bill which is 4 times bigger than what you originally thought it was going to be. That's really important that you understand their fee schedule. They should be able to disclose that very easily. Just like with us photographers, all professionals have different fee schedules as well. Now, usually insurance agents don't have fee schedules. Their commissions are paid based on the policy that you purchase. So you don't have to worry so much about an insurance professional unless they are a consultant. That's when they would charge you an hourly fee to just consult, but not necessarily be selling you something. And you can find that with everyone from CPAs, attorneys, insurance professionals, and just like with all professionals, their fees can be all over the map. So don't assume one thing without asking. Make sure that it is very clear. One other thing you want to know is you might want to know when you're talking to these people in the consult, what other services do they provide? How else can they help your business? They may do things really, really interesting and might have something that could really, really help you. So get all of their services that might be able to help you out in your business. Now, the last thing might seem kind of easy because if you look around their office, they're going to have their diplomas and their qualifications displayed on the wall. But I would ask them specifically, what are their specific qualifications and what designations do they hold to help me in my business? And after your consultation, make sure you have a really good feeling about entering into an agreement with them. Do you feel like you can trust them? Do you feel like they're going to hold your best interest at heart? Do you feel like they're going to help you when you need it most? Because that's usually when you're going to be calling them. You need to be able to trust your gut when it comes to this. You can't always rely on questions or a phone call. Get to know these people, learn a little bit more about them, ask about the referrals, and just make really, really good decisions for your business. But the thing to remember, even when you hire these professionals, is that you're going to them for advice and counsel, but ultimately you are the final decision maker when it comes to your business. You ultimately are responsible if your taxes don't get paid, or if they get filed the wrong way, or if an attorney makes a mistake in the contract. That is going to be on you. Now, you can go after them if they make a mistake, but that's normally not how this works. You're going to have to pay the biggest penalty for that. So choose these people well. Don't just go to a family member because they are cheap or they are easily accessible. Do your research, ask the questions, and make sure that you are getting the best fit for your business.